my name is Shelly, and I am so happy that we are going to get to practice chair yoga together today. Now, I set it up as an intro class, so whether you are a first time yoga practicer and this is your first experience with yoga, or maybe you've done different types of yoga in the past and you want to try something new, or maybe you're an experienced yogi, whoever you are, this class is for you. Whatever brought you to the chair and the mat today, just trust that you're in the right place. Now, since it's an intro class, I just wanted to explain a little bit about what chair yoga is and also show some props that you can use if you want to, but they're definitely not required. All that's required is yourself and a sturdy chair and I guess a willingness to give all the different poses and everything we're going to do today a try. So, chair yoga, what is it? How is it different from standard yoga that you might see pictures of people practicing? Chair yoga gives you all the same health, mind, and body benefits as standard yoga, but it does it in a more supportive way. We use the chair as our main prop, and we sprinkle in other props as well, and it makes sure that your poses are fully supported. So who is chair yoga for? The easy answer is it's for everyone, but some key groups of people might find it a great option to standard yoga or a complement to standard yoga. So chair yoga can be great if you have any health challenges, if you have balance challenges, if you have high blood pressure, if you have arthritis, anything like that. A more supported version of yoga is a great way to either start or to practice always to keep yourself safe while still getting the benefits of yoga. It's also great for women who are pregnant, especially later in the pregnancy, to give themselves support while they do the different yoga poses. It can be used by athletes either as a cool down or slightly more restorative yoga practice after a hard workout. It can also be used if you have an injury. So maybe you have an injury to your wrist or to your ankle and you can't support yourself adequately in standard yoga from the floor. You can use chair yoga to still get the same benefits. Those are a bunch of the groups that it covers, but really it can cover so many people. One other thing I wanted to point out is it's great if you work at a desk. If you're sitting like this, typing a lot, you're starting to get a lot of strain here, or you feel strain in your back, yoga can be great for desk workers because it's something you can do. You can learn these practices and do it at your desk. Maybe you're not allowed to leave for an extended period of time, but you could do some of these movements either while you work or just as you take a break sitting at your desk and get some movement throughout your day when you can't physically leave the chair and go for a walk or go to a yoga class. And similarly, it could be done on a long commute. If you ride public transit and you're on a train or a bus, you could do some of these moves kind of without people even realizing you're doing them, just to warm up your body and get some movement in while you're sitting and waiting to get to your destination. The goal of chair yoga is that we're going to find mobility and we're going to do it safely. We're going to do it gently, but we also want to do it in a way that is supportive and beneficial to us. So you'll see that as we move on. I wanted to tell you some of the props, and like I said, all you really need is a sturdy chair. I have this folding metal chair that's really solid. You just don't want the legs uneven because if they're rocking, you wouldn't feel stable and it wouldn't feel as safe for you to practice. And I have mine sitting on a mat. None of the stuff we're doing today really requires a mat, but if you want a mat to give yourself a little extra cushioning or grip under the chair and you have one, go for it. We also, in yoga, we often use blocks. Mine are cork. You might have seen foam ones. They are great for bringing the ground up to you, either under your hand or under your feet. But if you don't have a block at home and would like to have something, go grab a thick book. Feel free to pause the video and grab what you might need. But a thick book, remove the dust jacket so it has a little more friction. It's not going to be slippery when you put your foot on it. But that would be a perfect substitute for a block. We also may be using a strap. So my strap is a traditional yoga strap. I have it in a loop. If you don't have a strap, you could use a necktie. Again, try to get one that's a little less slippery so it can really help you when you use it. I grabbed this out of my robe, so this has a lot of friction and it's kind of soft. So if you can loop it around and maneuver your leg, that's the kind of thing we use a strap for. You could even use like a thin dish towel and fold it over a few times. And then finally, we may use a blanket at the end for some of the more restorative and cozy poses. Any blanket you have laying around will do. You can even grab one off your bed. And the same goes for pillows. You could use a bed pillow. I grabbed a couple from decorative bed pillow and a couch pillow. But whatever you have that's available, if it's a little bit of a firmer pillow, that'll be a little more supportive for the end. And that's really everything you need to know, I think, to start. So why don't we hop on the chair and get started? Set up my props. If you do have props, go ahead and put them within easy reach of the chair. All right, so when we begin, you want a chair where you can put your feet flat on the ground. So you can see my feet are flat and safe. I have my knees at relatively a 90-degree angle. If you have a really high chair, for some of the poses you may end up using a block or your book and put your foot on it to bring the ground to you. My chair is nice and low, so I'm able to keep my feet nice and flat. And how we're going to start is just with some simple breaths. Now, breathing is core to yoga, and it really helps to calm the body. And when you start to use your poses with the breath, you'll see that it's that much easier to do. You kind of get in sync with everything that you're doing between movements and breathing. So the way we want to sit is we want to have our head over our heart and our heart over our pelvis. And every body is shaped differently. Everybody's body moves differently. So this might look and feel a little different for everyone, but I want you to have at least the sensation of head over heart, heart over pelvis. And I'll turn just so you can kind of see. So I'm not sitting really rigidly straight, but I keep my head over my heart, heart over pelvis, and my back is relatively straight. And pull yourself a little bit away from the back of the chair. We don't want to be leaning on it when we start. If you ever need a break, that's completely fine. But for now, let's try to sit up nice and tall. And we're going to take one hand, put it on our belly, and another hand and put it on our heart. And we're going to take a deep breath in and let it out. Now in yoga, we do more conscious breath, and you want to be able to feel the hand on your belly actually move. You want to breathe all the way down through your lungs and make your whole belly move. We call those belly breaths for the obvious reasons. So let's try it again. We'll breathe in, breathe out. And once more, you can even close your eyes if it feels comfortable or soften your gaze. Breathe in and breathe out. Now, possibly just from that little breathing exercise, you realize how much more relaxed your body feels. And if you did, that's brilliant. And if you didn't, that's fine. We'll start to learn how our breath can help our body regulate. But I don't expect you to feel it right away necessarily. So we're going to start with a simple warming up of our neck and our shoulders and a little bit of our back. So we're going to start with neck circles. Now, when I teach kids yoga, we say we put a little dot of paint or marker on their nose and we let our nose lead our circle. So if that imagery helps you, go for it. Otherwise, just do a gentle neck circle to one direction, any direction. And you can make them small like this. You can go bigger. And if there's a spot that you feel where there might be tightness, go ahead and rock back and forth in that area. Kind of work out that muscle, warm it up slowly and gently. And if you haven't already, go ahead and switch directions. Great work. Now, in chair yoga, just like in any yoga, we don't want anyone to feel hurt. In Western culture, and especially in the US, we have a lot of no pain, no gain, push through the pain. If you don't feel hurt, you're not getting challenged enough, that's not the yoga philosophy at all. So if you ever do feel pain, just pull out of the pose. Like there, if you felt neck pain that was actual pain, go ahead and pull out. And you can always lean back like we talked about in our chair, or just sit up nice and straight and take a little break and take a breath. That's not to say we won't get into some poses that might feel challenging, but I want you to meet your appropriate edge and feel a stretch, but not pain. So if you get past that stretch, you get to pain, just pull back and take a rest. Also, I forgot to say before, I have my water bottle. Feel free to have water next to you. I know we're not doing aerobic exercise, but water is always a great thing to have handy. So now that we warmed up our neck a little in circles, we're going to do neck up downs. We're going to breathe in and bring your head back any amount. Look towards the ceiling. And then breathe out and bring your chin down towards your chest. You don't want to collapse your shoulders, so still keep that tall position, but feel your chin headed to your chest. Breathe in, head towards the sky, and breathe out, chin down towards chest. Once more. Breathe in and look up towards the sky, and breathe out, chin down towards chest. Good job. You probably felt that in your upper back shoulders, your upper back, and your neck as well. So now we're going to bring our ear down to our shoulder. We'll start with our left ear. So bring your left ear towards your left shoulder. Any amount that you start to feel a stretch in your right neck and right upper shoulder. And then if you want to go a little deeper, go ahead and bring your left hand out. And if you want to go deeper still, you want a little bit more stretch, point those fingers on that left hand towards the sky and bring your arm up any amount. And you'll kind of feel a stretch in your wrist, a little more in this shoulder, your left shoulder. And if that's too much, just keep your hand right on your lap. Take a few breaths in this position. And on your next exhale, we're going to come back to center. And now we're going to bring our right ear over our right shoulder. So gently on the exhale, bring your right ear over your right shoulder. And again, put your arm out if you want more of a stretch. And you can bring your fingers up. And I'd like to point out that everyone's body is different on each side. So for me today, I'm feeling the stretch way more in my right arm. So I'm not going to put my fingers up as high as I did on my left arm. And you might feel the same thing. Go ahead and come out of that. You might feel one day you can only lift one leg half as high as the other, and it could be how you slept, what you did the day before. It could just be general muscle abilities in various parts of your body. All right, so now we want to recenter ourselves because we might have moved our posture a little. So we're going to take another breath. You can keep hands on belly or one on chest or one on heart or just on your thighs. And we're going to do that head over heart, heart over pelvis posture, and breathe in and breathe out. Nice work. So now we're going to do some shoulder shrugs. We're going to breathe our shoulders up to our ears, and then we're going to roll them forward on the exhale. And I'll go to the side just so you can see this as well. I'm going to breathe up once, and on the exhale, roll them forward. Great work. Let's try that one more time forward. And roll them forward, nice and easy. Good job. So now we're going to go to the back. Breathe up and roll them backwards. And you're going to feel your shoulder blades actually coming right down your spine. I'll turn to the side again so you can see. Breathe in and roll those shoulders back. Good work. Once more, breathe in and roll those shoulders back. I know that feels especially good for me if you were typing a lot or even carrying around small kids, whatever you might have been doing yesterday. If you build tension in your shoulders, or some people even hold stress here, a simple shoulder roll can be a really great stress reliever and tension reliever. All right, now we're going to do cat-cow. Now, if you've ever taken a more traditional yoga class, you may certainly have done cat-cow. It's going to be very similar. We're going to breathe in, and we let our belly get kind of bow out. It's a deep belly breath. And then we're going to slowly lean forward. And we tilt our chin a little bit up towards the sky. And you can put your gaze up towards the sky as well. Any amount that's comfortable. This is the cow posture. And then as we exhale, we round our back, pull our navel back and up towards our spine. And we are back on our shoulders, sort of like a Halloween cat. That's why it's called cat, or when you scare a cat. All right, so we'll do it again. We'll breathe in. And remember, lean forward from the hips gently. Let that belly be soft. And if you're not able to put your gaze towards the sky, gazing straight ahead is great too. And then exhale and round to cat. Good work. Once more, breathe in for cow. Exhale for cat. All right. Now we're going to do some simple side twists, simple side bends or rainbow bends. So we're gonna breathe and raise our hands to the sky. And you can either clasp your hands like this above you, or you can gently tug on one wrist. You don't want to tug and hurt yourself, but just to give yourself a little more leverage in the twist. So I'm going to take my right hand and grasp my left wrist, bring my hands up, sit nice and tall, and then from my core and stretching over my hips, I'm going to gently put my arms to the right side. And I can look up and under my elbow if that's comfortable, or under my armpit, or just keep my gaze forward. Take a breath. Breathe in once more. And on the exhale, come to center. And then we're going to switch hands. So if they're interlocked, just keep them interlocked. If you were grasping wrists, take your left hand and grasp your right wrist. And exhale, lean over to the left. And again, you can look under your elbow or your armpit, whatever is comfortable, or keep your gaze forward if that's most comfortable. Good job. All right, come back to center. And now we're going to do a gentle twist. So I want you to breathe in and place your right hand on your left knee. And you can place your left arm either just at your side or on the back of your chair for a little more support. And then as we breathe in, we sit up nice and tall, and as we exhale, we twist our body any amount that's comfortable gently to the left. And you can look over your left shoulder, you can keep your gaze forward, whatever's most comfortable for your neck. We'll breathe in once more. And then if you're able, go ahead and deepen the stretch and twist a little bit more on the exhale. Then breathe in and come back to center. And then we're going to do that on the other side. So take our left hand over to our right knee, right arm either next to us. You could even grip the chair if you need a little more support, or put it on the back of the chair. Breathe in to straighten, and then exhale to twist. And remember, you can look back over your shoulder, or keep your gaze straight forward. And then breathe in once more, and deepen, or just maintain the twist on the exhale. Breathe in, come back to center on your exhale. So we are going to make sure that we still have that posture, especially after twists. It's good to just keep practicing and making sure we see how that feels in our body. So we're going to breathe in and breathe out, and make sure that we have head over heart, heart over pelvis. And I did want to point out that in yoga, one of the really beneficial things that comes from practicing yoga regularly is a better posture, because you're strengthening your back muscles, you're strengthening your shoulder muscles, you're strengthening your ab or core muscles, and a lot of posture comes from your core. But if this is your first time doing yoga, just sitting up tall and straight like this for the length of the class could be very challenging. If it is, a little bit of advice of things you could do is, if you're just feeling a little bit of discomfort, just take a pause and breathe through it and find some ease just by breathing. If it's really starting to be too much, feel free to take a break and lean back on your chair a little. Take a break that way and then come back to it. Or if you're finding that it's really, you can't do the whole duration of the class since it's recorded, go ahead and break it into maybe 10-minute segments or 5-minute segments, and then pause, come back to it whenever you're ready, maybe even the next day. And you'll slowly see yourself starting to build up stamina and strengthen those muscles, where you can do more and more of the segments together. But whatever it is, don't push yourself. Just work on doing the best you can while still feeling comfort. All right, so now we've warmed up our back and our shoulders and our neck. We're going to warm up our hands and our feet. So we're going to start with toe scrunches and lifts. I'll scooch just a little bit back, mostly so you can see me. You can stay in your position. But what we're going to do is, on the inhale, we're going to scrunch our toes. And on the exhale, we're going to spread them as wide as we can, like we can with our fingers. You can do that with your toes as well. That's something we practice in yoga. And it gives you a really good foundation on the ground. It actually helps with less foot pain and things when you are walking or standing a lot throughout the day. So I'll bring my feet up so you can see. This is the scrunch. Bring those toes together as much as you can. And exhale, spread them as wide as you can. So let's do that a few times. We'll breathe in and scrunch. And exhale, spread the toes. Breathe in and scrunch. And exhale, spread the toes. And once more, breathe in and scrunch. And exhale, spread them as wide as you can. Good work. Now we're gonna lift and lower our heels. We'll start with one foot and then the other, and then we'll bring them together. So we're gonna lift one heel up. I'm lifting my left and keeping the balls of my feet and my toes on the ground. So you're gonna feel this stretch all through the back of your calf. And then lower, and then breathe in. Raise your other leg up. And lower. Good work. Now we'll do them together a couple times. So breathe in. And lower. Breathe in. And on the exhale, lower. And once more, breathe in. And on the exhale, lower. Nice. All right, now we're gonna do some leg lifts. So I'm gonna use my strap for this. If you don't have a strap available to you today, you can still do the whole exercise without a strap. The strap just gives us a little more support and control as we do it. So I am gonna use my strap, and as I showed you before, I have a loop in it. If you're using something like a bathrobe, just go ahead and tie a little loop in it. And I am gonna loop it over my right foot. And then I'm going to raise my foot up on the inhale. And on the exhale, I'm going to bring my leg out to the side. Now you want the strap either in the middle of your foot or towards the balls of your feet. Don't let it go down to the heel or it might feel slippy and a little odd. And then I'm going to breathe in. And bring my leg either right to the center or even a little past center. And I can even change hands in my strap. Good work. Let's breathe in, and on the exhale, bring your leg back out once more. And you'll feel this stretch kind of along the whole leg, especially in the inner thigh. Breathe in and bring it back. And on the exhale, go ahead and bring it across your midline if you're able. Good job. And then lower the leg. Let's try that on our left leg. Slip the loop back around your foot. We'll breathe in. And then on the exhale, we'll bring the leg out. And then inhale. And on the exhale, bring it across if you're able. Breathe in. And on the exhale, extend the leg out away from you. And breathe in. And on the exhale, bring it across. Great work. Now we've got our legs warmed up. We're going to also give ourselves a little ankle circles to warm up the ankles and get some circulation. So I want you to breathe, and on the inhale, we're going to lift our right leg up, and then we're going to just point and flex, point and flex, point and flex our toe. And then we're going to do some gentle ankle circles as we start to lower our leg. And if you haven't already, go ahead and change the direction. You might hear some cracks and pops. I know I hear that in my ankle when I do it. It's totally normal. And then put your foot planted straight on the ground. Let's do that with our left leg now. So breathe in, raise our leg up, and then we're going to point and flex, point and flex, point and flex. And then we're going to do our ankle circles as we lower that leg. Go ahead and switch directions. Wonderful work. All right, now I feel like our legs are fully warmed up. So let's move on to our hands and our arms a little. So what we're going to do, let's realign and make sure our posture is good again. So breathe in, head over heart, heart over pelvis as we exhale. Good work. We are going to take our arms out like this, right in front of us, and we are just going to circle our wrists. Now, if doing two at once is hard, go ahead and just circle one wrist at a time. You can even put this arm down if that's easier for you. Or you can do it, and you can also do them in the same direction and then reverse, or do them as opposite directions. Really, whatever feels good for you. We're just building up some better circulation in our wrists and getting our hands moving in a gentle and beneficial way. Good job. Now, with our arms still extended, we're going to bend our fingers down, and this is more of a static hold, and this helps stretch out the wrist. Now, if you have tight wrists, you might only be able to go this far. That's totally fine. Go only as much as is comfortable. We'll take a breath here in and out. And then we're going to raise the fingers on our right hand, bring our left hand over, and gently, very gently, don't want any pain here, but push back on the fingers to get a reverse wrist and forearm stretch. And if that's too much, just leave this hand down. This might be more than enough stretch for you. Take a breath in and out. And then the same, left hand, fingers up. Bring your right arm around. Take a deep breath in and out. Good work. Now, we'll take a break. We're going to shake our hands out a little. You can even do a few more circles if you want. And we are going to take our arms up as we breathe in. Breathe them down to cactus arms. And we're going to scrunch and stretch our fingers. Now, this might sound really familiar. This is very similar to what we did with our toes, right? We're going to do it with our hands as well. So as we breathe in, scrunch those fists. And then as you breathe out, make big starfish hands. Breathe in, scrunch those fists, and breathe out. Big starfish hands. Let's do it one more time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Great job. Okay, so now we've done a lot of really good warm-ups. You can see how a lot of these could be done at your desk or even at your kitchen table, maybe before you have a snack, something to help just get some movement into your body. We're going to do one seated sun salutation series, which is a little bit more moving, but not so much that it's going to be super challenging for anyone, I wouldn't assume, and you're welcome to modify it as needed. So if arms up is too much, you can just keep arms on your lap. So let's give it a try. For our sun salutation, we're going to breathe in, and then we're going to breathe out and bring our hands back to those cactus arms, and you can even do a little bit of a back bend if it's comfortable, and look up towards the sky, sort of like we were doing with our cat-cow. And then we're going to breathe in, put our hands up, and then we're going to breathe out and bend, starting at our waist, bringing our arms all the way down, and this is forward fold. Now, if you have any blood pressure issues or balance issues, just go as nice and slowly as you need. And also, if you can only bend to here for forward fold, that's a perfectly acceptable modification. Don't feel like you have to bend all the way over if that's putting any strain or pain on your back or making you feel dizzy at all. So bend over. Now, my hands are touching the ground, but if yours aren't able, feel free to grab those books or blocks. Put your hands on the blocks so you feel grounded. And the cool thing about them is there's different heights depending how you set the blocks down. So wherever is your comfort level today. If you're able, feel free to bend all the way down. Relax that body, and your head will be pretty much between your knees. And then we're going to breathe in and come back up. Good job. So we're going to do that 2 more times, and we're going to incorporate a leg squeeze if it's comfortable for your body. If it's not, just skip that part today and stick with the sun salutation as we just did it. So breathe in, arms overhead, breathe out, cactus arms, and a gentle back bend. Breathe in, arms back overhead. Breathe out, forward fold, hinging at your hips. And then on the in-breath, I want you to hook your hands, interlock your hands, and hook them behind your right leg. Breathe in and pull your right leg up any amount. It could be here. It could be pretty much on the ground. It could be up towards your chest, whatever's comfortable today. And then on the exhale, I want you to round your back and shoulders a bit and bring your nose towards your knee. Now, I don't expect your nose to touch your knee. It might be here. As long as you're feeling a little bit of a bend and a rounding, that's what we're looking for. And then put our leg back on the ground. Okay, we're going to do that on our left leg now. So breathe your hands up. Exhale down to cactus arms, gentle back bend. Breathe your hands up again. Exhale, forward fold. On the inhale, hook your hands behind your left leg and bring it up any amount that's comfortable. And on the exhale, bring your nose to your knee. And then release. Great work. So we're going to keep building on the foundations that we've learned today, and we're going to learn different poses with each class, but you can see how there is a great balance of gentle stretches, and then we do get into some movement poses as well. And after we do the movement, if you at all feel dizzy or lightheaded, just because we've been going up and down and placing our head in different parts of our body, feel free to just take a breather, lean back, maybe have a sip of water as needed. So now we're going to do our cool down, and we're just going to do gentle leg lifts, and you can choose to just lift your leg up bent or lift your leg out extended, really whatever is most comfortable. So we're going to go breathe in 1, exhale, breathe in, exhale, and again it can look like this, breathe in, exhale. Let's switch legs to our left leg, or whichever leg you weren't doing before. Breathe in, exhale, breathe in, exhale. And I also want to point out, you could even just do a heel lift like we were doing before as well. Last one, breathe in and lift. And exhale. Nice work. Now we're going to breathe our arms up, cross them overhead, and then exhale them back down. Okay, once more. Breathe your arms in, cross them overhead, and exhale them back down. Breathe our arms in, cross them overhead, exhale them back down. Nice work. Now we're going to bring our hands to our heart, and we're going to take a few calming breaths, and we're going to do counting breaths this time. So we're going to breathe in for 1, 2, 3, and out for 1, 2, 3. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3, and breathe out slowly, 1, 2, 3. Good job. Now that's something that can really bring your heart rate down if you've been really active, and it also helps if you're feeling any stress or tension. Sometimes just counting through the breaths, the brain's working on the counting while you're having the body work on the breathing, and that can be a great way to de-stress very simply and quickly. Now the last thing I'm going to do, we recommend that if you do a half-hour class that you stay in a restorative pose for 5 minutes if you're able afterwards. I'm going to demonstrate just a few of those poses, and you can choose whichever one's best for you. So child's pose or balasana is our first one, and child's pose, we literally can just bend over, it's like the forward fold, and we can keep our arms across and over our knees. To be a bit more restorative, I'd recommend doing it over a pillow. So I'm going to fold my arms, and I rest here. If I need a little more support, add pillows. So you can add 2 pillows wherever you're able to bend. You want to be comfortable and supported and not feel like it's a major stretch. You want it to be restorative and gentle for your body. If you didn't have pillows available and you had a blanket and a book or a block, you can take the block, wrap it around in your blanket, and rest over that. So there's lots of ways to get creative with our poses. Or if you had a couple blankets, you could fold those up or put those over your pillows. And we just rest and breathe. So that's child's pose. We also could do shavasana, and that's the corpse pose where you see people in yoga lying on the ground and getting into more of a meditative and relaxed state. The easiest way to do that I want to show you, well, there's 2 ways. We would put our blanket up here. If you're capable, get down to the ground, bring your legs up, and lay back. And you could even put a pillow under your head if you need that for support, or lay flat on the ground, and then we put our hands at our sides and just breathe and relax. This helps us get a lot of restoration for all the work that we just did during yoga. If you're able to get all the way to the floor, you can just lay flat on the floor. And another really wonderful and simple option is depending where you're practicing. If you're practicing at home or somewhere with a bed or a couch, go ahead and lay on that couch after you're done. So finish your yoga class, stop the video and just go lay on the couch that way for 5 minutes, or the bed. You might even end up taking an inadvertent nap, but that's a good way to restore as well. So I hope that you had fun. I hope that this made you interested in chair yoga and you saw the benefits of it, and that you join us again sometime. Let's bring our hands to our heart. We're going to bring it up to our forehead, our third eye center, and we say, may I have kind thoughts. Bring it to your mouth or your lips. May I have kind words. Bring it to your chest, and may I have a kind heart towards myself and others. I appreciate you so much taking the time today to build the relationship of love with your body and taking this time for yourself. That's really wonderful. And yoga, just like life, is a journey, so I'm so happy that you invited me on this journey with you, and I hope you continue it and that you enjoy it. The beauty in me sees the beauty in you. You guys are all beautiful and wonderful. And I just wanted to say thank you again, and namaste.